If you are American living in America, you have been scammed. And today I want to talk about alternate lifestyles that you can go ahead and live. Now, the government, or AKA the society, would tell us you only have to go ahead and buy a home in America, pay that mortgage off for 30 years, and then you're going to go ahead and pass away. And I think I don't want to live like that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you watching this video, you do not want to live like that. You want to live the different type of lifestyle that you see online and that you hear about. So let's go ahead and talk about different lifestyles that we can all go ahead and live. Now, the first lifestyle is living in a car. Now, I seen this one TikTok of this girl, and she was saying how she used to pay $1,200 just for rent, not even for like food, gas, insurance, or anything like that, just for the rent where she was living. And she moved inside of her car, and she was able to save that $1,200. And you know, that's a lot of money. Like, think about it, $1,200, you know, times that by a year, 12 months, that is a lot of money that you're going to be saving. And she lived in her car. It was only her, and she lived comfortable. Now, this video I'm going to be talking about is mainly for solo people, but if you do have kids, or let's say you have your lover with you, it might be a little bit more difficult, but it is doable. I'm not telling you to just drop every single plan that you have and, you know, just to be comfortable for you, because that's selfish. So you got to think about it. If you have a lover, if you have children, you got to really, really think about what I'm going to say in this video about these alternate lifestyles. But the second alternate lifestyle that I'm going to be talking about is living in a van. Living in a van is a little bit more different. You have bigger sizes, bigger rigs, and you're able to usually put a shower in a van if you have a stand-up van. And living in a van, you have just so much more space compared to a car. A car, you can't stand up in, obviously, and you can't have a shower in your car. But with a van, you're able to put a shower if you don't want to go to like a gym, or you don't want to go to like a truck stop and shower. And also, like I said, it's just way more space, especially if you have, you know, a partner with you. Two people can live inside of a van. I mean, it's kind of crazy, but you got to just get along with your lover, you know what I mean, and stay inside that van. But that is a second way alternate lifestyle that you can live, and it's doable. You know, same for the vehicle. You can either work a remote job and travel around, or you can just be stationary and, you know, have 3 to 4 different spots around in your local area and pick them and sleep at them during night. I know that is the main concern about this alternate lifestyle, is showering and sleeping, you know, safely. So the showering, like I said, you're either going to have to go to the gym, go to a truck stop, or you're going to have friends, you know, homes that you can, you know, shower at least once a week or twice a week, or whatever you want to do. You know, if you're living inside of your car. And for your van, if you do build a van, you want to make sure you at least have a shower just in case you want to shower. And for the sleeping, you just have to pick out spots in your local area, or if you're traveling, you want to make sure that you're using certain apps and checking around that location, because living these alternate lifestyles, it comes as pros and cons, you know what I mean? So you definitely got to go ahead and do your research. I don't know where you live. I'm here in Florida. In Florida, I would say van life or car life, it's not really accepted, but you can get away with it. Now, the third alternate lifestyle I'm going to be talking about is a motorcycle. Yes, an actual motorcycle, not a bicycle, a motorcycle with a tent. Now, I seen this one chick here on YouTube, and she's legit riding around with a tent and her motorcycle, and she's going all over the world. I think right now she's in Africa, but I think that's pretty dope that she's able to do that. And I'm pretty sure she doesn't have any children. She's pretty sure she's not married or nothing like that. And she just looks so free. You know what I mean? That's an alternate lifestyle. Just your motorcycle, your tent, your gear that you have, and you're just traveling around, sleeping in a tent. Have your motorcycle next to you. You wake up in the morning, and then you're able to hop on your bike and go wherever you want to go. You know, I think that's very beautiful, and a lot of us, we would love to have that certain lifestyle. So just think about it. Think about these lifestyles that you can be living, instead of being cooped up in that same home, you know, for 30 years and paying that mortgage that the government tell you have to pay. You know, you could be living differently and having fun, and you can be documenting it. So that by the time you're 69 years old, you know, 72, 81, you'd be like, oh my goodness, I remember in my youth I did that. I remember that one guy on YouTube, he was telling me to do that. You know, shout out to Freedom Seeking KJ, you know. Now, the fourth lifestyle I was going to talk about is, yes, an actual bicycle with a tent. There's this one guy on YouTube, I think his name is Greg, but he's doing it. So he started in Alaska, and he's going all the way down to Argentina. And I think he's been doing it consistently for a year and a half. And he's literally on a bicycle with a tent, and that's what he do. He just sleeps in the tent, picks up his bicycle, go in the morning, and just rinse and repeat. And that, first of all, that's great exercise. And then secondly, you're going in so many different countries, you know. the entire, Latin America, South America, you're going to have fun. You're going to learn a lot, and you're on a bicycle. And when you tell people about your journey, they're not going to believe you. They're going to be like, what? I can't believe you did that, And when you complete it, if it take you 3, 4, 5 years, whatever, you can look back and say, oh my goodness, I remember my youth, I was able to complete that. And you'll be very proud of yourself. And that is a very cool alternate lifestyle that you can live. Now, another alternate lifestyle that you can live is backpacking, local or global. And the reason why I say local or global is you have a lot of people, they're usually in their like early 20s or even their late 20s, and they say, you know what, I saved up $6,000, I'm going to go to Europe, or I'm going to go to Southeast Asia, and I'm going to go ahead and backpack over there. And backpacking is looked down upon nowadays, especially, after, 2020, but people still do it. Backpacking is kind of like glorifying homelessness while traveling, but I mean, hey, there's people who are still documenting their lifestyle, and yes, I know a lot of them make money online. They record their progress as they go, and they collect money and donations online, but that is something you could still do. I heard Europe is still affordable to do that, and I heard Southeast Asia is affordable to do that as well. So I'm pretty sure you can even go to South America and try it, but I just heard that Europe and Southeast Asia is a little bit more safer if you do want to backpack. Just you and whatever you need, a tent, some food, water, whatever you want to carry, and just go have fun. And people will help you along the way, especially on that side of the world. I heard people are actually pretty friendly, but it's just that a lot of backpackers, they get a bad name. But if you are going to backpack, give them a good name, let people look at this lifestyle and say, you know what, well, these guys are not bad. I want to do that. Now, another alternate lifestyle, and I know there's one guy in real life, he actually does it, but he lives in another country. He's from Colombia, and he does cruise ship work. So if you can find a cruise ship, you're going to be on that cruise ship. They usually have contracts, but let's just say it's 3 to 6 months. It depends what your contract is. Don't quote me on that. But let's just say you do 6 months. So you're going to do 6 months on the cruise ship. You're going to meet a lot of people from different countries, a lot of rich people, poor people, whatever it is. But you're going to be a worker on that cruise ship, and they pay for your living. So, for example, you're going to be working there, I don't know, I'm just throwing a number out there, $15 an hour. They're going to pay for all your food. You get 3 meals a day, and they're going to go ahead and pay for your rooming, and you just save all that money up. You know what I mean? So if you could save 2, 3, 4 grand a month, by the time you get off that ship in 6 months, you should have all that money. Boom, you can go ahead and take that money and travel somewhere different, or you can wait for next season and do it all over again. But I heard that lifestyle is pretty hard to get into. They usually want people who can speak 2 to 3 languages because, on a cruise ship, you have many different countries there, and they're usually long distance. So if you speak 2 or 3 languages, definitely look into it. There's many different cruise lines out there. Just be professional, get hired, and try that lifestyle out instead of, living on land and paying that mortgage, like I said, for 30 years. Try that out. Maybe you like it, and you end up doing it for the next 4 or 5 years of your life. Now, another alternate lifestyle, and a lot of people are talking about it, usually like, I would say older people or people who they're just done with life, they just want to chill, are tiny homes or off-grid homes. And off-grid, you got to be very careful about that. The government, Uncle Sam, one is cut, so you got to be very careful, especially if you're running like electric and all that. They are going to come after you. But if you can get away with it, especially something on wheels, I think that'll be a little bit better, more appropriate. But yeah, you do have stationary tiny homes out there, or off-grid homes, and people live on them. You see it on YouTube. Search it up, off-grid homes or tiny homes, and you'll see people, they say they brought an acre or two and they're living off their own land, and if you have money like that to live off the land, that's amazing. But like I said, it's usually for people who did all the traveling, people who just want to be stationary, and they don't want to live in the 30-year mortgage home. They just want to live in something small, tiny, and just have fun. Now, for all my guys with pickup trucks, I didn't forget about you. You can live an alternate lifestyle too if you own a pickup truck. You can go ahead and get you the enclosed trailer. So the trailer that have the roof and everything, the door, that goes up and down. And you could build a home inside of that. So you can have your pickup truck, you can attach that trailer, and you're going to build inside the trailer. I actually watched a couple recently, and they had that, and I thought it was beautiful. Basically, they put a bathroom in there. They had a bed, they had the sink, they had the kitchen, everything. It was beautiful, and they had a pickup truck. So a pickup truck is carrying this trailer, and they lived in that trailer, which I thought was amazing. And this is a couple now. Now, the only bad part is if you hear something, you're going to have to get out of your trailer, and if you have to go, you have to get in your pickup truck and start it. So you can't just get out of your bed and go to the wheel instantly. That's the only bad part about that lifestyle. But let's just say you're a guy with a pickup truck and you're a contractor or something, or you have a small business and you don't want to get rid of that pickup truck, you can also do that. Just buy a trailer, go ahead and modify that trailer. Nobody needs to know. It's between me and you. And live inside that trailer, and then have your pickup truck and use it as the work truck. You know what I mean? So definitely just look into these things. There's many different alternate lifestyles that we can live here in America. It's just that nobody talks about it, or nobody really wants to do it because they're just following society. Whatever society said is like, oh, well, if they're doing it, so should I, you know? And I don't like that. I don't think that should be a mentality for us Americans. I feel like we should be able to do what we want, you know, and be happy and have fun. And another alternate lifestyle that I want to talk about, and a lot of people are usually doing it already, but the mobile RV living. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. You can usually, you know, pay for land. You know, some land out there is $600 a month or $800 a month. It's still better than rent because, you know, rent out here is usually what, $1,200? At least in Florida, you're looking at $1,200-$1,300 for a 1-bedroom or even a 2-bedroom. You know what I mean? So if you want to buy an RV, a mobile RV, and live on the land, you know, if you want to just buy a pass and stay there stationary and have a little mobile community around you, you can also do that. Or you can go ahead and boondock. You know, a lot of people out there boondock. They find hidden private spots in their RV and they just sleep there for the night. Now, RVs are a little bit more heavier, a little bit more big, so it's kind of hard to be stealthy in an RV, but it's doable. But you will probably get more knocks compared to a person who is living inside of their car or their van. So that is an alternate lifestyle you can do. And also RV, let's say you're a traveler too. Let's just say you like to travel a lot and you don't want a stationary home, you don't want to pay that rent. Buy an RV and just park it on one of your friends or your family member lots. And then, you know, when you come back to the US, you can live in that RV. You know what I mean? So that's another alternate lifestyle. Instead of paying that, you know, $1,300-$1,400 for that 1-bedroom apartment while you're away in Spain for 4 months, just have the RV. And when you come back, sleep in the RV and drive in the RV. Like I said, there's many different ways that you can live in this world, not just America, in the world. You have people, you know, they're living in boats, man. Like, people are not only living on land, they're living on water. People are legit buying boats. I saw a story in California and I was like, man, that is awesome. They have small boats and they're just sleeping on it. You know, have the tarp. You don't need to do the whole go to college and then get the good career and then buy the house and have a 30-year mortgage on it and stress. There's no reason for that. And don't let nobody shame you either into getting an apartment. If you don't want to have a home, you don't want to be a homeowner, you just want to rent, that's also fine. I feel like a lot of people, especially people around my age, because I'm turning 25 in January, they're usually shaming other people for renting. Who cares? As long as you got a roof over your head, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's that mentality with, oh, you're renting, that's so bad, Like, I don't care. As long as you have a roof over your head, I'm happy for you. You know what I mean? And even if you don't have a roof over your head, I'm still happy for you, as long as you're happy. You know what I mean? I don't know. We should just stop judging each other. Let people do what they want. Not everybody wants to follow society. Society is just telling us to do everything one way. It's so annoying. It really is. But I've been ranting a lot. Remember, Jesus Christ loves you. He's your savior. I love you. I appreciate you for watching the video. Go ahead and share this video, and hopefully somebody's motivated and, you know, that want to change your life. And if I did change your life, please leave a comment down below and give this video a thumbs up. I appreciate you for watching. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. Stay humble, stay positive. Please make sure you stay safe out there, and peace out.